Hello, my name is Ritesh Prasad and welcome to UPSC Freaks. So today we are going to start with military aptitude test and today we are going to see about dice problems. So why are we going to discuss the dice problems? As you all can see, the dice problems are not even included in the reasoning and the military aptitude test which is the part of your AFCAT exam. But still, it is one of the important topic because it comes in your service selection boards. When you clear the SSB, you will be given a particular center. If I have to be more accurate, it is something called as AFSB, that is Air Force Selection Board. Basically, it is present in your Mysore. It is present in Gandhinagar, that is in Gujarat, and then you have AFSB present in your Varanasi, that is in Uttar Pradesh, and then you have another in Dehradun. So there are four AFSB centers. Once you clear the AFCAT exam, you get a chance to appear in AFSB, which is basically present in your Mysore, Gandhinagar, Varanasi. It is basically it is up to you where you can choose. So dice there you face something called as intelligence test. Basically, in this intelligence test, you have to face the dice problems. So without wasting any further time, we will jump directly into this dice problems. So basically, dice problems, you will be given a certain number of dices, and you will have to guess, or you will have to find out which number will be on the opposite of the top face or on the bottom face. So they will be giving you a number based on. So suppose say in this example, you can see there are two dices. The same dice has been, the same dice, two positions have been given, and you have to find out what number is present on the opposite side of number one. So how to proceed this, how to solve this kind of problems? It's very simple. All you need to do is you need to start writing all the numbers that are present on the dice. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now as you can see, we have to find out which number is on the opposite side of 1. So before going into that, we need to find out which number is repeating the most. So as you can see, the number 3 is repeating in both of these images. So we will just underline this number 3. Now, many people, what they will do is they will just try to imagine that we have to rotate it like this, we have to rotate it in right side, we have to rotate it upside. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is you need to find out which number is repeating the most. So in this case, we can see that number 3 is repeating the most. So what we will do is we will just underline this number 3, and then we will see which numbers are adjacent of this number 3. So as you can see, the numbers adjacent to number 3, that means which are numbers are not opposite to 3. We are going to find out which numbers are the numbers which are not opposite of 3. So in this case, you can see the number 5 is adjacent of 3, so we will cut it down, and then the number 4 is adjacent of 3. So again, we are going to cross it off of our list. Then now, and in the second image, you can see number 6 is the adjacent of 3. So that means these numbers, the 4, 5, 6, and also the 2, they are not opposite of 3. They are adjacent of 3. That means we are left with only one culprit, that is our main criminal. So basically, we need to find out which number is opposite of 3. So in this case, we have the answer, that is the number 3. So for this question, the answer is 3. I hope the logic is quite clear. We are not going to rotate the dice anywhere. All we need to do is simply we are going to cross off the numbers and we will be getting the answers. So let's move ahead to the next question. What is opposite of number 5? And now as you can see, the number 5 is not visible in these both images. So how to proceed? Again, as I have mentioned, all you need to do is you have to write off these numbers like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically these are the 6 numbers which are present on the dice, and all in both the images we can see that 1, 4, 2 has been given and 6, 2, 3 is given. Now the first step was to find out which number is repeating the most. So in our this case, the number 2 is repeating again and again. Now in the first case, in the first image, you can see number 1 and number 4, they are present on the adjacent side. That means they are not opposite of 2. Since they are adjacent of 2, they cannot be opposite of 2. So using that simple logic, we are going to cross off this 1 and 4. Then now which two more numbers are in the adjacent of 2 in the second image? So we can see number 6 and number 3. Both the numbers are in the adjacent side of the number 2. So now we are left with the number 5. So our answer is 2. So the question was which dice is on the opposite side of number 5. So the answer is 2. I hope now this is very clear with you. You know, sometimes you will be given 3 dices, sometimes you will be given 4 dices, and you will have to solve this kind of problems. So I hope this trick help you. And the main thing is that you need to practice this kind of question many times. Until and unless you do not practice, you won't be able to solve these questions very quickly. So again, we have to find out which number is on the bottom face in figure 1. So basically we are saying that in figure 1, which number is on the bottom face. Now you can see the number 2 is on the top face. So indirectly the question is asking which number is on the opposite side of number 2. So how to proceed? Again, you will just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now we have to see which number is repeating. So in this case, we can see that number 2 is repeating again and again. So we will cross off from our list. So which numbers are adjacent of 2? So it is 3 and 4. In the second image, you can see that which numbers are adjacent side, the adjacent side of number 2. So basically your 1 and your 5. Now we are left with the number 6. So basically the right answer will be 6. So number 6 is on the bottom face of the figure 1. I hope now this is getting clear to you. Now again, one more problem. Which number is on the opposite side of 4? Again, you can see the number 4 is not visible in this kind of dices. So how to proceed? As I have suggested, all you need to do is you need to write down these numbers like this, and then you need to underline this number, and what you need to do next is simply cross off the numbers which are on the we have to just find out which number is repeating the most, which numbers are repeating the most. So in this case we can see that number 1 is repeating, so you will just underline this number 1. Now find out the numbers which are adjacent of this number 1. So 2 and 3. Again on the second image 5 and 6. So the answer for this is 1. I hope you people all are getting the concept here. You need to cross off the numbers which are present in the adjacent side, because all you need to remember is the numbers which are on the adjacent side cannot be on the opposite side. The numbers which are on the adjacent sides will not be present on the opposite side. So now in this question we have to find out the side which is opposite of, suppose say in this case we cannot see 3, so we will just write 3. We will have to find out which number is on the opposite side of 3. So again all you need to do is write down the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which number is repeating? So your 5 is repeating here. You will just underline this number 5. Adjacent numbers of 5, 2, 6, 1, 4. So your answer is 5. So the opposite side of 3 is 5. Now this is something, this question was asked in the SSC exams of income tax and central excise. So basically the question is asking how many dots are present on the face opposite 4 dots. So basically we are saying that you have 4 dots here. You can see there are 4 dots here. How many dots will be present on the opposite side of 4? Again, it's very simple. All you need to do is write down the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, which number is repeating the most? The number 5 is repeating itself. Now, which numbers are adjacent of 5? 1, 2, then 4 and your number 1. So now we are left with, we people are left with a dilemma here. We have two we have two possible suspects. we have two possible suspects. Either 3 can be opposite of 5 or 6 can be opposite of 5. Now how to proceed in this kind of question? How can we solve this kind of question? Now sometimes you need a lot of practice. In this image you can see that the number 1 has moved upwards. As you can see, the number 1 has moved upwards. So if you see that you are having two suspects, you need to see at the image carefully. You need to see the image very carefully and you need to find out what is happening with the cube, how the cube is rotating. So in this case you can see that cube is rotating upwards. So you can see the 2 has gone backwards and 4 has come in front of it, right? So basically using that logic we can say that number 2 is on the opposite side of number 4. Now this is something different. Why? Because instead of having two cubes, in this case we are seeing the three different cases of the same cube. The same cube is thrown thrice and the images have been given and you have to find out based on these images which number is present on the opposite side. Now again the same procedure. Again I hope you people now have got the idea how to solve this kind of question. Meanwhile, I'm solving, you can also solve the same. You can also try to find out the answer. So initially, you can just simply find out the number which is repeating itself the most. So in this case, we can see 4 is repeating itself. Any other number we can you see the number 1 is repeating itself. Any other number 6 is repeating itself. So I think we should go with the number 3. Sorry, we should go with the number 6. So 6 opposite numbers are adjacent numbers are 1, 4 and any other numbers you can see 5, 3. So basically the number that is on the opposite side of the cube is simply 2. So on the opposite side of 2 is your 6. Now again the three different position of a dice are shown below. How many dot lies opposite of two dots? So basically you have to find out the same thing. So you need to write down the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Find out the number which is repeating itself the most. So in this case we can say 4 here and then again 4 here. So let's take 4. We have taken 4. Cross off the numbers which are present on the adjacent side of 4. So your number 2 is crossed off the list, 6 is crossed off the list, then 3 and then 5. So basically your number 1 is present on the opposite side of 4. So now we have one pair. 1 is present on the opposite side of 4. This is not the answer. We need to find out which number is present on the opposite side of 2. So again, you will have to write down these numbers like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you know 4 and 1 cannot be adjacent side of 2 because 1 and 4 are opposite of each other. So they cannot be opposite to 2. I hope you all are getting the logic. See, 1 and 4 are opposite to each other. So they cannot be opposite to 2. So 1 and 4 can be crossed off the list. Any other number you can cross off the list? Yes, sir. We can cross off the number 6. Now we are left with the number 3 and 5. We have the number 3 and 5. So how you can proceed here? So simply you can do is you can find out you can simply find out which number is again repeating. So as we have already discussed the number, so you can see the number 5. Number 5 is repeating itself. Just simply write it down: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 1 is not the answer, 4 is not the answer, and we are trying to find out the opposite side of 5. So 5 adjacent are 3, 4, then we have crossed off it. So 6. So your right answer is 5. 5 is present on the opposite side of the number 2. Now, which number is present on the opposite side of 3? Again, just write down the numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I hope this might have got easy for you. Again, which numbers are repeating itself? So we can see that clearly 2 is repeating in all the images, all the 3 images. Okay. So what we will do is we will just underline 2 and find out which numbers are adjacent of 2. 3 is adjacent of 2, 4 is adjacent of 2. Then 6 is adjacent of 2, 4 we have already crossed. Then which number? 1. So we can say that, sir, 2 is present on the opposite side of 5. So 2 is present on the opposite side of 5. But sir, we need to find out which number is present on the opposite side of 3. Very simple. All you need to do is again go ahead and solve it like this. You need to write down the numbers again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we need to find out 3. We can cross off 2, we can cross off 5, and from this image 1 we can cross off number 4 also, and from this image we can cross off 1 also. So we are left with the number 6. So basically the number 6 is present on the opposite side of 3. I hope you people are getting this logic. Now these dices are rolled. See, instead of now having 1, 2, 3, 4, we are given with the alphabets A, B, C, D, E, F. So basically these 6 alphabets have been written on the 6 sides of the dice, and you have to find out which alphabet is opposite of A, which alphabet is opposite of A. Now simple, the technique stays the same. Which alphabet is repeating itself? So we can see the alphabet, we can see that B. Okay, fine, we'll go with the B. B is repeating itself, or else we will see, we will say no, not, let's not go with B, let's go with E. So what are the adjacent alphabets of your E, C and D? Then your F, your B. So all you left is with A. So A is present on the opposite side of E. So your right answer is C here. Now, bottom figure of X. Now we have already seen this kind of problem. Again, you can simply start with writing. You can start writing with the numbers as soon as you see the problems, and then you can see which number is repeating itself. So in this case, we can say that we can see that 5 is repeating itself, 4 is repeating itself. But let's see. In 5, 4, 1. In 5, 2, 6. So it is a different number. So let's go with the 5. Underline 5. Now you will cross off the numbers 4, 1, then 2 and 6. So you are left with the number 3, 5. You got this number, but see the problem. The problem is asking what is the bottom of figure X. So you need to see the question also. You need to see the diagram also. Figure X, figure Y, figure Z. We need to find out the bottom face of figure X. Now what is the top face of figure X? The number 5. So the opposite side of 5 is 3. So that gives you your answer. Opposite side of 4. Now this is something very new, again a very different type of problem. Why? For a simple reason, it has 4 dices. The same dice has been thrown 4 times and the image has been given for the same. And you need to find out which number is opposite of 4. Now simple, see, as the number of dices increases, the problem gets simpler. So if there are 4 dices, the problem is much more simpler. If the dices are 2, the problem will much more, it will be on the difficult side. So if we say that there is a difficult problem and then there is your simple problems. So as the number of dices increases, the problem simplicity will increase, and as the number of dices will decrease, the difficulty will increase. So I hope you're getting that point. So this is very simple. 4, you need to find out which number is opposite of 4. 4 is repeating itself. You can see twice. Just underline the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 has been repeating itself. So cross of 6, cross of 5 because they're adjacent of 4. 2, 3 again because they're adjacent. So we are left with the number 1. So 4 has number 1 opposite of, basically we have number 1 opposite of 4. Now opposite of 2 again simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, what you need to do is you need to find out the number which is repeating itself the most. 2. So 3, 4 has been crossed off the list. Again, which number is being crossed off? 1. Again, here number 2 is repeating itself. So you can cross off 6. Sorry, 6. And you are left with the number 5. So the number that is opposite of 2 is 5. Now, bottom face of figure 3. See, again, you have to look at the figure 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are asking you which number is on the bottom of the figure 3. That means indirectly we are asking what number is on the side opposite of 3. So you will start with writing one numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, which number is repeating itself the most? You can say, sir, we can see 4 is repeating itself the most number of times. So cross out the numbers which are present adjacent of 4, 5, 6, 2, 1, and then you're left with the number 3. So your right answer will be 4. So the number which is on the opposite side of number 3 is 4. Now this is something a very tricky question, and I love this question because this asks something very different, and you need to solve this kind of problems. I am giving you the basic concept. Now you need to build, you need to make a whole structural building on this particular concept, on this particular logic. So let's read the question. Where the total number of dots on the opposite faces of cubical block is always 7. Find the figure which is correct. Now you have to find out which figure can be correct. And the requirement, the prerequisite is the opposite sides will be always equal to 7. So how the sides will be? 1 plus 6 equals to 7. 2 plus 5 equals to 7. 3 plus 4 will be equals to 7. So this can be the always opposite side for this kind of cube. Why? Because we are saying that the opposite faces of the cubical block is always 7. Now let's see the first example. Now we are seeing that 6 and 1 they are present on the adjacent side. Can it be possible? The simple thing is no, sir, this cannot be possible because 1 and 6 are opposite in this particular cube. So this cannot be our answer. Okay, leave this B bit for a minute. Now let us see the C bit. You can see 3 and 4 again on the adjacent side. Now this is not again possible because 3 and 4 should be opposite side. So again this is not possible. Your your C option is also not possible. Then 5 plus 2. Now this is again not possible because 5 plus 2 should be opposite, not adjacent. So we are left with the option B. So our right answer is B. Now I hope you people have got the idea. Now thank you for watching this video, and I hope you like this video. Please do comment how many marks have you got of all these problems, and please do subscribe this channel. It takes a lot of efforts in making this kind of videos. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.